Girls, welcome to the Norisring for race 2 of the weekend. It is indeed race 6 of the championship. It's the DTM Trophy 2022. It is the 3rd season of the DTM Trophy, and we are not quite halfway, but we do go to a summer break after today's race on the streets of the Norisring here in Nuremberg. Oh, it's a glorious day here today. It is a 55.4 degree track temperature. Wow, you could cook a decent meal on that, that's for sure. The air temperature is 29.9, but we're all here for the drivers, of course. There is your pole sitter. It is JP Southern, the American from Eastside Motorsport. Cool, calm, and collected, that's for sure. Yesterday was on pole, had a drive shaft issue, didn't finish the race. Today is the day that he gets his first victory in the DTM Trophy. Thiago Vivacqua got himself his 2nd podium of the season yesterday in 3rd. He is Brazilian. He had the German flag above his head yesterday on the podium, so he'll want to get himself onto that podium and have that Brazilian flag flying, just like we saw in DTM. He starts in 2nd position. Eduard Kauhauper, with the most luscious locks on the grid for sure. He starts in P3, the Frenchman, for BWT Muka Motorsport. There is the Pink Panther, the number 18. One of 2. So P4 then it is Daniel Gregor. So Daniel Gregor will start on the 2nd row of the grid. Nice smiles there. Feel sorry for the poor guy that's just had earwax put all over his rag. Fair enough. Tim Heinemann looking very cool under his umbrella. It's like Mary Poppins. And there is the championship leader podium, which he will want to keep for sure. He got 2nd place yesterday in the race, and he looked devastated on the podium. I'm not sure he was quite thinking of the bigger picture. It was an incredible performance from him. And well, he'll definitely want to be keeping an eye on that. Rodrigo Almeida then, representing BWT Muka Motorsport. One of the fan favorites from the YouTube chat. You're watching on YouTube right now. Almeida has got lots of fans. Colin Carasani, 2nd in the championship, actually came in to this weekend leading on countback with 69 points, but now he's 7 points behind Tim Heinemann. So with a little bit of work to do here to see whether he can indeed retake the lead of this championship. I actually watched the start of the DTM race with him today, and he was just really relaxed. Seemed really relaxed. Nick Hankinen. He starts in P8 in the Aston Martin. So starting a fair few positions up from where he was yesterday. He showed a bit more pace in qualifying, of course, as well. Lewis Henkefen for Project One. Down in P9. On the very same row as yesterday's race winner, Theo Uverhaus, who is in P10 on row 5. And he started further back yesterday and managed to win the race. Can he do it once again? Can he make it 2 from 2? And that would follow the pattern of the season so far. Rounds 1 and 2 at the Norisring went to Tim Heinemann. Rounds 3 and 4 went to Colin Carasani at Imola. And well, rounds 5 went to Theo Uverhaus. Will it be round 6 as well? 10th on the grid then for the Volkenhorst Motorsport driver. A 2-time DTM Trophy winner in the BMW. So just a final buckling in here, and then we are good to go. Oh, perfect. Ice cream, sun, and motorsport. The smile says it all. Mark De Fulgencio for FK Performance Motorsport. The Spaniard then will start in P11 on the 6th row of the grid. Moritz Lohner starting there down in P12 for the FK Performance Motorsport team as well. And if you're not following DTM Trophy on Instagram, you should absolutely do so. Moritz Lohner, Jordan Wallace, and JP Southern, they all took over on a grid walk for DTM about an hour before this race started, and it was brilliant. Sophie Hoffman then starting down in P30. Got some points yesterday. Could she potentially make it 2 from 2? Jordan Wallace, what a character he is. Spent a lot of time with him today, actually. He's normally very busy. He's got people filming his journey over here in Europe with his motorsport exploits. And yeah, had a ball of a time. And he took over the Instagram for DTM Trophy today as well. And he was just absolutely superb. So again, if you're watching around the world on television, hopefully you enjoy this. If you want to get yourself involved and maybe ask me a question, you absolutely can do at ActrolVision on Twitter or indeed on Instagram. I will try and answer your questions if they do indeed come in. And well, if you're watching on YouTube right now in the UK chat, you can type any questions in there right now. There's the boss, there's Martin Tomczyk, former DTM champion, all-round good-looking guy. And there is Sterian Folev as well. Thumb up. Lovely chap. Always positive. One of the most positive people I've ever met. Even when things went wrong yesterday, still had a smile on his face this morning. He explained the situation this morning. There was nothing he could do, but still had a smile on his face. So where are we watching from around the world then? Let me know in the YouTube chat. Send me a tweet, send me an Instagram message with a flag of where you're from. Let's see how many people are indeed watching right now. T-Rex there watching from Michigan as well. Stefan supporting Almeida. Harko supporting Sophie. Yeah, Sophie's got a massive fan club, and it's really good that we don't have Sophie in the chat this time, because at Imola we did, didn't we? The second race of the weekend. Fair play, she indeed did get involved and supported the fellow drivers, and nice for her to answer some questions, but we would prefer to see a race in which we are going to see today. Could it be 2 from 2 in terms of points? I am wonderful, thank you, Patrick. Sun cream, absolutely need sun cream. I've applied twice today, because if I take my sunglasses off, you'll see 2 white lines along my head. It is so sunny here this weekend. It's so, so hot. Track temperature now 55.7 degrees. Super, super hot right now. Davinson from Belgium. We've got Nicholas from Germany. Yunus from Turkey. Bulgaria there for Bojidar. Schrorbach is from North Carolina. Where else are we going? Switzerland, Spain, Hungary, England, Denmark. We've got lots of Almeida fans in the chat as well. South Africa, of course. St. Lucia, the Caribbean. First St. Lucian I think we've ever had watching the DTM Trophy. Welcome along. We've got there Lindsay from Checkered Flag. We all have a checkered flag, don't we? Who's going to take the checkered flag, though? That is indeed the question. Let us know. Who do you think's going to win this race? One minute, 18 seconds then for us to wait here, as there are so many people still here. It's an unbelievable vantage point on the start-finish straight. As there was the number 18, Eduard Kauhalper, who, again, I've been speaking to him this weekend, and I've just been telling him, have you got the race pace? We know he's quality at qualifying, but when it comes to the race, unfortunately, just the consistency isn't quite there. Is today the day that Kauhalper chucks himself on the podium, potentially challenges for a race victory? Well, we are about to find out here. Daniel Gregor then has had a pretty good weekend in terms of outright pace. Hasn't got the results to back it up. P10 yesterday after a 5-second penalty. We love the wave. Absolutely. All 3 waving there. Great to see. Is that a Supra? Yes, it is. Tim Heinemann, championship leader, 7 points. Oh, Lino, I'm good. Don't worry about me. Got plenty of water. But sit back, relax, and enjoy what you're about to watch here. Yesterday was scrappy, to say the very least. Not going to treat people like they're stupid at home. We know it was scrappy. Will we see a nice, fair race? Very similar to the finale we had last year with the DTM Trophy. It was exceptional last year. Are we going to see a repeat of that this year. Formation lap time then. Oh, so close. 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. 25 points goes to the winner. 1 point for the fastest lap as well. Ooh. JJ, most racing drivers now are sim racers, to be honest. So it depends how you define the word. Depends how you define the word. So just trying to get some heat into the tyres on this formation lap. And then they will indeed line up 2 by 2. Here's your start grid then. JP Southern and Thiago Vivacqua on the front row of the grid. 2 Audis with Eduard Kauhalper and Daniel Gregor, an AMG and a Porsche on the second row. Tim Heinemann, Rodrigo Diaz Almeida are indeed on the third row. A Toyota and an AMG. Colin Karasani and Nick Hanke in a BMW and an Aston Martin. Lewis Henkefend and Theo Uberhaus round out your fifth row, both in the BMW. Mark De Fulgencio and Moritz Lohner are indeed on the sixth row, both BMWs as well. Sophie Hoffman in the Audi and Jordan Wallace in the BMW. Ricky Capo is not racing, unfortunately. His engine seized yesterday, and Sterian Folev will be at the back of the grid. Oh, first formation lap then has indeed finished. We are going to have a second formation lap here just because of how short the race, or how short the lap is. Down towards the final chicane, or the only chicane, should I say. There's Tim there, just warming up the brakes, as well as getting heat into the tyres. Got some people waving through the fence there. Exceptional vantage point there. Here we go, lining up 2 by 2. 1 more corner to go. Then they're waiting for the green lights, and it's 30 minutes of racing action. Will we get through turn number 1? Will we give them an applause for doing so? Certainly excited for this. Down then towards that final corner. Again, JP warming up the brakes. 2 Audis at the front here. The AMG and the Porsche will be quick to get started. It's the second phase where the Audis really do come into fruition. So the first phase, they're not that quick. And they are the front 2, so this might bottleneck the whole crowd. It's round number 6, or race 6, round 3, here at the Norisring for the DTM Trophy 2022. And on pole is JP Southern, and there are the green lights. We are green light racing, and Daniel Gregor is almost bump drafting Thiago Vivacqua to try and push him to the front of this race. And he's actually got ahead here. JP Southern then, well, he absolutely got the first phase right, but the second phase was not right at all here. Gregor's trying to go around the outside. JP Southern is completely gone. Cal Halper has just sent Thiago Vivacqua into the barrier. Gregor's been put into a wall there as he goes across the bonnet then of Cal Halper. And the leader of this race, I'm not too sure who it is. Is it Fulgencio? Thiago Vivacqua's out of this race. He's been put into the wall. Gregor also in trouble here. And actually, no, it's JP Southern. So JP Southern does hold on to the lead here. But does he have any damage to the car? Was there any contact? It's actually now Tim Heinemann goes into the lead here. And who's that? Is that Lewis Henkefend? Henkefend has come out of nowhere here. He's in P2. And JP Southern is dropping back once again. And it's going from bad to worse then for the American. Unless he's noticed the safety car and he was in P3. We've got the safety car out here. And turn 1 has not been the greatest once again. And it looks like Thiago Vivacqua and indeed Daniel Gregor are out. There is Vivacqua. He's out the car. He is furious with how things have gone down. And well, he has every right to be. Turn 1 once again here at the Norisring. Not going well at all. Not a great start indeed. Cal Halper then. There was a chance for him to prove the race pace, and he's not even managed to get down in towards turn number 2. And 3 of the big dogs from qualifying are unfortunately all stuck by the wall there. Tim Heinemann leads the way with Lewis Henkefend, currently in second. JP Southern is in third. Did he have an issue though? I'm not too sure. Here's the replay of the race start. And well, across the start-finish line, we indeed will go. And well, it's a fantastic a first phase from JP Southern. Then he really slows down, and then he tries to make up for it into the braking zone. So watch on the left-hand side of your screen. You'll see JP just try and extend the braking zone, jumps over the curb, runs completely wide. So it's 3 wide here. Gregor's around the outside. And wow, Cal Halper's just absolutely sent it into the side of Vivacqua. And that is exactly what's caused all of the melee behind. Look at Cowhalper. He absolutely T-bones Thiago. That's his race over. And then you can see that Gregor, well, Cowhalper was trying to go forward, so was Thiago Vivacqua. And then, unfortunately, look at Tim Heinemann, by the way. He leads this race now. He's currently in P8 as he goes through turn number 1. Then Henkefen gets up the inside of about 17 different cars. And in the end, Tim Heinemann takes the lead of this race. But that's all really from one mistake. Cowhalper's made the mistake there. And that's actually 2, really. He's just pit maneuvered Gregor as well. Turn 1, though, is a tough corner at the best of times, let alone when you're trying to go through there 4 wide. And, well, we're about to see a very, very bad reaction. Yeah, there we go. Absolutely furious. Such a positive day yesterday. It's turned into such a negative day today. Hanker's in the pits as well, so he may have got caught up with that. Yeah, such a shame, really. Milson, Valencia, welcome. Yeah, lots of different manufacturers. And it looks like we're going to get some gaffer tape. If you want to fix a car, ladies and gentlemen, gaffer tape is all you need. This car will basically be brand new now. And actually, I'll be surprised if we don't see Hanker go out and win this race from this position. Just because of gaffer tape. But yeah, such a shame that we've had this happen down towards turn number 1. So here's a replay here. So JP Southern makes a mistake. He runs wide through the chicane, or has he hit something there? So Southern gets all out of shape there. Got so many different lines being taken. Half a car's fallen off of someone's car. That could be anybody's. Oh, there's loads of parts on the track here as well. So they're just falling off as they're going through. So pretty much everybody's been tagged up in it. And well, not all heroes wear capes, but they wear suits that are blue and they've got yellow stripes on them. Oh, and there's lots of liquid there coming out of Daniel Gregor's car. So that's going to need to be cleaned up as well, unless it's just water. Although, if it was water, that would have evaporated already. I'm telling you, so that is definitely not water. Just, yeah, not ideal here. Not a great start. And it will take a little bit of time here, I believe, to get this cleaned up. So Cowhalper, Vivacqua, Gregor are all out of this race. Capo didn't start the race. Did Hanke stay on the lead lap? That's the question here. No, he's 2 laps down from what I'm seeing right now. No, he's 1 lap down. So he's 1 lap down. He's completed 2 laps. And there's the damage. There's the damage to Vivacqua's car. And it's been an incredible weekend for Thiago. He's got some incredible pace. In the wet, he was just a standout driver. There was no one even close to him, if I'm completely honest. Yesterday, managed to get himself a podium. Today, looked like he was in a position to do very much the same kind of performance. And yeah, race has been taken away, unfortunately. Cowhalper, you can see the car is just stuck in the wall. It's just unfortunate. But let's talk about who's still left in this race then. I thought JP Southern had an issue, but turns out he's good. I guess we will really find out once they go up to full tilt once again. But it is Heinemann that leads here. Henkefen in second. Henkefen, what a start, by the way. Henkefen has just come out of nowhere, really, and just kept himself out of trouble, which effectively around this circuit, if you watched yesterday, that's what you've got to do. Karasani then currently in 4th. Uverhaus is in 5th. Then Fulgencio, Lerner, Folev keeping himself out of trouble. He's up to P8 from P15. We've got Hoffman in 9th then. Jordan Wallace in 10th. Could he potentially get his first points of the season? We've then got Almeida and Hanke in 11th and 12th position. So there we go. So if you're watching around the world on television right now, get yourselves involved. Send me a tweet, send me an Instagram message. Let me know who you're supporting. Maybe you've got some questions as well at Actrol Vision, A-C-T Roll Vision, one word. And if you indeed are in the YouTube chat right now, you can also get yourselves involved. Let me know who you're watching and let me know who you want to win, basically. Maybe you don't have a favourite driver. Maybe it's your first time and you want to know some answers to some questions. I can't be, you know, if I don't know the answer to a question, you won't get it answered. It's very, very simple. But if I can answer it, I will try. So, yeah. A very interesting start to this race. 23 minutes left on the clock with the safety car still out. We've got 1 car off the circuit already, so the Audi's gone. Now we will have to recover the Porsche, and then we will have to recover the Mercedes AMG. As we get some really nice shots here of the cars coming through the exit of the chicane here at the Norisring. And just see You can see which cars have kept themselves out of trouble and which haven't. That's for sure. You see JP Southern there. He was off really, really far right, to be fair. And this is an incredible position to be watching from. You just got a glimpse of one of the only places on the track where you can effectively see everywhere. You can see all around the circuit here at the Norisring. It's a little bit further to the right if the camera was to pan to the right. So yeah, that's yeah, some lovely spots here. So such a unique circuit, really, really is. So Germany, P1, P2. Then we've got an American up there in P3, Karasani in 4th, Uverhaus 5th, Fulgencio, Lona, Folev. We've got Hoffman and Wallace as your top 10. And then we've got Almeida and Hanker. Hanker will have to try and regain the lap here. And well, you can see the extent of the damage on this Audi and the Hyder Motorsport team. Yeah, they're going to be very disappointed with how things have gone, and I wonder if that fluid is coming out the back of Thiago's car. I'm not sure if it is. But yeah, not ideal. Evo 3 is the most I've ever seen, but I think it's the race director's discretion. So yeah, we just had a message in my ear. Thank you, Nico, confirming that they think it's water that's on the circuit, but they're not 100% sure. Again, I feel it probably would have evaporated, but I could be wrong. I'm no scientist. I know that's not breaking news to people at home right now. I am not a scientist, so who knows? If the race gets going, we know it's water. If it doesn't, well, you know, we know it's oil. So the Porsche being led onto the flatbed. And then we can indeed maneuver that car off the circuit. And yeah, we're seeing the cars go around the circuit and do laps, ladies and gentlemen, but not in fury. So we obviously want this to be as quick as possible here so we get some racing action here in the DTM Trophy. Heinemann, who does lead the championship. He leads by 7 points coming into this. He is indeed ahead of Henkefeldt on screen in P1, P2. But the more important thing is it's Karasani, who's currently second in the championship, who's down in P4. We've then got Uverhaus, who again yesterday had an incredible performance up to P1 from outside the top 10 on the grid. He's already up to a top 5 here, so keep an eye out for him. Does have success ballast though, because of yesterday's performance, so that is going to hurt him. But the fact that we've done nearly 10 minutes here under safety car conditions kind of plays into his favour. So yeah, keep an eye out for Theo Uverhaus. Once again, he has got so much previous here, it's ridiculous. So Heinemann then in the Toyota, patiently waiting to go green like racing here. And just Tim just finds a way to get to the front. Always seems to be able to get to the front here. Doesn't matter what trials and tribulations. At this point, I'm just going to take everything Tim says with a pinch of salt, because he's been saying, no, I've not got the car this weekend. I've not got the car this weekend. And he's just always up there. He is a ridiculously talented driver. He ran away with the championship in the inaugural season of the DTM Trophy. So, of course, we should expect him to be pretty good. But you know, as the old drivers will say, there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. And there's some fans then waving. So there's 3. Are we going to get any more waves? Oh, no, I think the young man who's pointing is a little bit too cool to be waving. You're never too cool to wave and get yourself on a big screen. So, luckily, it's really beautiful sunshine here because Hank has lost his left front light. So, we don't need them today, although loads of cars have got their lights on. Let's talk about the championship standings then. So, Tim Heinemann came into today's race with 88 points. He's 7 points clear of Colin Karasani, who's on 81. Dia Overhouse is on 68. So he really needs to get ahead of both of them as we head into our summer break, just to close that gap and really then make an assault with only a few races left to go this season. We've got 8 races left to go this season. We've then got Thiago Vivacqua, who's going to score 0 points in this race. He's currently in 4th with 50 points, so this is devastating for his championship run. Jacob Riegel's not in the race because of yesterday's accident with Patamba. Eduard Kauhalper, he's not going to finish this race either. He's currently P6 with 38 points. And then you've got Nick Hanker on 38 points as well. And, well, he's outside the points right now, and he's a lap down. And then we've got Rodrigo Diaz Almeida, who currently finds himself down in P11, so he's not scoring points. He's 8th in the championship. So JP Southern here is really the only one that's going to make massive gains. And actually, to be fair, Lewis Henkefend. So Henkefend is on 24, JP's on 27, so they will jump massively up the order if they get a positive result, as it is right now. So, yeah, very interesting how this could potentially play out. Safety car still out on track here. We did have an incident into turn 1. It was about 7 wide, and unfortunately 7 wide doesn't work here at the Norisring, as we know. We've all been watching the races this weekend, and now we're just waiting for one more car to indeed be taken off the circuit, which is Kauhalper's BWT Motorsport Mercedes AMG. There it is on this right side of the screen there, one of the Pink Panthers. So through the chicane, then, we will indeed come once again. Yeah, a bit of a thankless task here for the marshals. They obviously don't want to be having to deal with recovering vehicles. And it's just difficult because it is a street circuit. There's no runoff. You can't just roll the cars off somewhere safe. It is a case of you need to take them completely off the racetrack. You have to take them completely off into a different direction, into the pit lane effectively. Here's a replay then of what exactly happened. The 3 at the front here kind of all did well, but JP Southern then runs wide. But Kauhalper just, yeah, absolutely sent it into the side of the Audi. And yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. And again, I'm not sure Daniel Gregor had anywhere to go. He was squeezed there by 2 BMWs, it's Fulgencio and Dia Overhouse. But again, they had nowhere to go. It was 5 wide at one point. And yeah, Daniel Gregor has effectively, I say pit maneuvered himself, but yeah, unfortunately 5 into 1 just doesn't go. So yeah, a bit of misfortune. You see JP Southern in the number 77 just runs completely wide. Kauhalper, yeah, it's just messy, really, to be honest. It's just really, really messy. Trouble is, if you try and brake too early, you could, instigate a crash from someone behind you. If you brake a little bit too, if you brake a little bit too late, you're also going to instigate some sort of contact. You see Kauhalper just trying to turn away from Vivacqua, and then yeah, pit maneuvers Gregor. You can see Hanker just do you know what? Fair play to Hanker there. And hopefully we get to see that actual shot again, because he was the only one that the brake lights popped on the car. So he, instead of just turning left and flooring it, he actually hit the brakes and kept this car out of trouble there. So that's the only one out of everybody to hit their brakes to avoid any potential extra contact. So that is, yeah, mesmerizing that he's the only one there. So anyway, safety car still on track here. And then we should get some racing action. I would imagine this race is going to be extended as well. And there we go. You can see in the background the BWT Muka Motorsport car is indeed off the circuit. The marshals now will brush all of the debris off the circuit, and then we should be good to go racing. So car 18 has been reported to the stewards. That is Kauhalper. So that is indeed reported to the stewards. Jordan Wallace, by the way, number 23, currently has the fastest lap of the race on lap number 3. Stop the race now. Give him that point. 1 minute 12.399 under safety car conditions. Stop the race now. Of course, that will be beaten once we get to some green light action. Safety car still taking us around this circuit here. Well, what lap are we on? We're on lap 13. We've done 13 laps on the safety car. Still plenty of fans here in the stand. You can see there's barely a cloud in the sky. I wish there was more. I wish it was a little bit overcast. I'm not going to lie. It is so, so warm. But I am from the UK. It is in our contract of living that we have to moan about the weather. Whether it be too wet or whether it be too hot. It is just a part of our nature. So Will the safety car disappear this lap? It will not be too long, I can assure you of that. Double yellow still being waved here. Safety car will be coming in this lap then. Confirmed. Race director has confirmed. Oh, exciting times. So now they will indeed line up 2 by 2. Start procedure is going to be exactly the same as what we saw previously in terms of the race start. And it's Lewis Henkefend, a Project 1 driver. We expected to see a Project 1 driver up there, but it was Colin Karasani, considering he was the championship leader coming into this round. But it's actually Lewis Henkefend that finds himself there with Tim Heinemann. So he's got to try and do a teammate's job here and get ahead of Tim and potentially slow him down so Colin Karasani can get involved. A little bit too early in the championship for Lewis to be giving away positions and points, but absolutely needs to be a bit of a nuisance right now. JP Southern, who was pole position yesterday, dropped down to P3, but then on lap 2 just wasn't able to take part because unfortunately his drive shaft popped. But now it's restart number 1 in this race. JP Southern again not getting off the line well. He's going to get mugged off all the way back down the order. And Theo Uverhaus once again getting an absolute flying start, and he will pull over and he will open up turn 1, I'm sure. And actually he's got no room to do so. Tim Heinemann goes ultra defensive then down towards turn number 1. Henkefend round the outside. Karasani, he's not careful, might get hung out into the wall. Henkefend holds on. Theo Uverhaus then is in P3, and then you've got Karasani, who does have the inside line for the first part of the chicane. Oh, and he's just tagged his teammate. He has, Karasani just hit the back of his teammate. Tim Heinemann then got a bit of a love tap as well. Luckily, they're all facing in the right direction, so yeah, no harm, no foul. JP Southern, who again was pole position, just falling backwards here, defending from Folev, defending from Fulgencio, lost the position to Moritz Lohner as well. You see the Audi going very defensive then into that final corner. Fulgencio and indeed Folev still side by side as they exit turn number 4. Tim Heinemann, though, even with that contact, has got a nice little gap to work with here. Henkefend, who did look like he was going to lose P2, hasn't. He's absolutely done the job he needed to do. Karasani, though, has fallen backwards here. A whole lap then of green light racing, which is obviously welcomed here. Theo Uverhaus trying to go out nice and wide there to gain a position. And oh, there is contact then. 3 drivers involved. JP Southern, Moritz Lohner and Fulgencio. And well, teammates involved. Media marked red, media marked black. They are not moving as well. We need to see that once again to see exactly how that went down, but it was not good, that's for sure. As right now, Heinemann is in dreamland. Karasani only in P4, Almeida P5, Folev, Hoffman. We've then got indeed Jordan Wallace as well, and it looks like we do have a safety car here. So it is a safety car officially. JP Southern, you can see he's got going, and oh, both drivers from the FK Performance Motorsport team are out of this race. So unfortunate here. And again, I didn't quite see exactly how that went down. So as you can see, the rest of the field then coming through turn number 1, and they're just dropping like flies at this stage now. How many cars have we got? We've got 10. I think JP Southern might have just come into the pits. No, there's JP there. He's right at the back, and he has not got a race car here for sure. That just doesn't have the pace. So we're going to watch this restart here again. And yeah, JP Southern just has not got the drive off the race start there at all. Theo Uverhaus absolutely flies up the inside, gets pinched though. There's the contact between teammates, Project 1 drivers, Colin Karasani and Henkefend. And actually, I think Henkefend was quite lucky that he had Heinemann in front of him. And there's a nice little kiss there. Nothing more, just a little kiss, letting Tim know that he's there. Tim's fully aware of that situation. Here we go. Here is the incident. Oh, Fulgencio's just full sent it into his teammate, and then, well, Paul cued him and hit JP Southern as well. Oh, no. So the teammate's getting stuck in, and that will take some explaining at the next team meeting, I can assure you that. Fulgencio, very similarly to Pitamba yesterday on Jacob Riegel. A little bit of a different outcome in terms of it wasn't as big a crash, but the 2 drivers are both out of this race. We saw 2 teammates come together in a Project 1 team, but ultimately they're both still in those same positions. And then you saw exactly what happens when it properly goes wrong. So right now, if you finish this race, you're going to score a point. you are going to score a minimum 1 point. So, safety car out on track, 8 minutes to go, still +1 lap. We haven't had an update as to whether we will have more laps or not. So as it stands, it will be 8 minutes +1 lap. And I'll let you know whether we are going to get some more indeed when I find out. So as it stands, Heinemann leads, Henkefen, Uberhaus and Karasani are your front four. Almeida, Folev, Hoffman, Wallace. It is indeed JP Southern and Hanke who's still that lap down. So Hanke is that lap down on the rest of the field. With this series, you do not get the opportunity to get your lap back. So yeah, he will not get that lap back because none of these cars will need to pit at any point. But he stayed out there. He will score a point. Safety car will be coming in this lap. Here we go. Let's see how this goes down this time around. A restart, there'll be 5 rows, 10 cars. And right now, you keep your nose clean, you're guaranteed at least 1 point. That's got to be the objective here. If you keep your nose clean, you're guaranteed at 1 point, but surely everybody else is going to be pushing here. There might be freebies available, so if you're outside the top 6, it might be worth just sticking here and not really thinking too much about it. As we head then down through that final corner. So JP Southern, I'm not sure his car is really capable of getting a good start in terms of the way the restarts work here. Tim Heinemann, Lewis Henkefen for the second time in a row then will do the restart. They're waiting for the green lights to appear. Karasani, you can see getting really, really close there, up behind his teammate. There is the lights. When are we going to go green here? And it is green light racing, heading up then towards turn number 1. Folev with a phenomenal start. His restarts yesterday were exceptional as well. And now I've mentioned him, I did this yesterday, he will hopefully not be commentary cursed like I did yesterday, as Henkefen is trying to pile that pressure onto Heinemann, and you can see that Uberhaus wants to try and open up the corner, but he just can't. And there's contact here again, as there's 3 BMWs going 3 wide. Looks like they will get through relatively nicely. Hanke's lost a position then to Southern, but again, it's not an official position. It's an actual, he's already lapped here, so he might have just let that go here a little bit easier. As you can see, there's Theo Uberhaus trying to make a move, or trying to hold on to the position here actually with Colin Karasani. Karasani needs to be very, very careful here because he has genuinely got a championship to fight for and does not need to be chucking himself into a wall. While they're all fighting for position, Tim Heinemann is absolutely driving away here at this stage of the race. Uberhaus there running a little bit wide, but should be able to get a decent traction on the exit. And as you can see then, Karasani just falling a little bit further back. And now he's got Almeida all up in his rear view mirror. So Almeida in that pink car, flashing the lights as well. I'm pretty sure he knows you're there. As we head up towards turn number 1. 5 minutes left of this race, +1 as it stands. Again, we'll let you know if that changes once I do indeed know. But for me, right now, it's just 1 lap after the time expires. Colin Karasani, you do not want to be doing that. That's so, so close there to snapping the suspension of the toe link. That is, ooh, yeah, that could have been really, really bad. That could have been race ending. Luckily, he's got away with it there, and it's almost like take your medicine. You can see that he is absolutely fighting hammer and tong here with Almeida. Down towards that final corner they will go. Almeida stays out nice and wide, which means he can get on the power a lot earlier here. Karasani goes through there really, really tight, and he's going to struggle to get that power down. There should be a massive opportunity for Almeida to use that slipstream, indeed, potentially slipstream his way up to turn number 1. How good can he be on the brakes? And actually, it looks like the BMW at this stage of the race is pretty good. The BMW does struggle for tyre wear as the race does indeed go on. But because we've been under safety car for maybe 70% of this race, could be even more than that, the BMW tyres are going to be pretty much perfect at this stage. So, yeah, as it stands then, Heinemann he's under a bit of pressure here from Henkefen. And right now, Uberhaus kind of needs them to start battling if he wants to potentially take a second race victory here. Or could Lewis Henkefen become our 4th different winner this season in 6 races? Karasani, who needs to beat Heinemann just to close that championship lead. He's too busy fighting on to hold on to P4 and not being able to move forward here. Folev looking for his best result ever in the DTM Trophy, currently in P6. Hoffman in P7 will be her best finish in the DTM Trophy as well. And we've now got JP Southern currently in P8. Jordan Wallace should be his best finish as well. And then we've got Hanker in P10, who's just stuck around, and he just wants to get that point at the very minimum. It's going to be in a very expensive weekend for pretty much every team on this grid here. As Tim Heinemann runs a little bit wide through turn number 1. There's Henke Fend again, flashing his lights. Again, Lewis, he knows you're there. You don't need to remind him. Oh, the flashing of lights. Oh, the bane of my existence. But, of course, the racing drivers, they need to try and cause some sort of distraction, and they will absolutely try everything and everything and anything. Down into towards the final corner they will indeed go. Then Heinemann still leading and nails the apex there, gets in the power early, slides the rear ever so slightly, but nothing that's going to cost him any potential time here. 3/10 of a second is the difference between him and indeed P2. Sophie Hoffman then squeezing JP Southern to the wall. And wow, as we head then down in towards the first corner across the start-finish line, you can see the momentum shift here. It is indeed going to be JP Southern who's going to move up the order, although Sophie Hoffman is going to go very late on the braking here, down towards turn number 1, and almost gets into the back there of Folev, just about gets the car stopped. And wow, I apologise for the noises I made there. That looked like it might be a carbon copy of what we've seen already. But look at this for the lead. This is for the race lead here. Look at Theo Uverhaus. He's ready to pounce like a panther here. The front 3 separated by nothing. You could cover them with a loincloth. They're that close. New race length is +3 laps, not +1. 3 wide. Down in towards the final corner. Heinemann on the inside. Uverhaus is absolutely pinning Henkefend down onto the apex there. Still doesn't gain the position here. But this is absolutely about to get spicy. Tim Heinemann has ballast as well, remember, as does Theo Uverhaus, and Henkefend is right up the rear wing then of Tim Heinemann. Are we going to have a 4th different winner? Down through the kink we come, in towards turn number 1 we come, pins Tim Heinemann now onto the apex. Is there going to be an overlap on the exit? No, Tim says absolutely not here. You will have to live to fight another day, and whilst these are fighting, Karasani's catching up here as well. So is Almeida. This race is not over, that's for sure. Through the chicane they do indeed come then. 1 minute remains here, so for my money, we will indeed be doing 1 more lap, and then we have 3 to go. So 4 laps remaining in this race. Can Lewis Henkefend do it? Tim Heinemann defending for his life here. He will indeed be impeded on the exit of this corner. Henkefend is very much as close as he's been this entire race, although Tim Heinemann's second phase on the exit of turn 4 was absolutely exceptional. Henkefend closing that gap. The fans here, you can see, are starting to get a little bit excited about this. I think they realise they might be about to witness something very, very special. Oh, that's very clever there from Henkefend. Oh, maybe a little bit too clever, maybe a little bit too aggressive in terms of trying to pinch Tim onto the apex, forcing him to be slow on the exit. I think he might have been a little bit too aggressive there. Tim, though, the wily old fox, he's not going to fall for that. But it has closed up. The front 5 now separated by just about, well, just about 1.5 seconds. It is super, super close right now. And one mistake here, you're going to lose a lot of points. So you've got to be careful. Down and towards the final corner once again, and we will have 3 laps remaining here. Henkefend faking a move up the inside. Is he going to force a mistake from Heinemann? Oh, very minimal, but yeah, there is a mistake there from Tim. Although Tim, again, his second phase, as he goes up through the gears, is exceptional, leaning on every ounce of experience. Karasani now battling with Tia Uverhaus as well. Uverhaus, of course, winner from yesterday, currently in P3, wanted to attack for the lead, but now he's defended for his life. Henkefend is right then up behind Tim Heinemann. Heinemann's cut the track completely. Uverhaus has cut the track completely, overtaken Henkefend here. I think you'll find that there might be some penalties for, well, if there's a penalty for one of those drivers, then 2 of them are getting it for sure. They both did exactly the same thing. Henkefend then is indeed going to keep hold of P2, but he's lost time there because of the side-by-side action. Uverhaus, I think, made that very easy to give back. Ultimately, I think it was a case of, oh, I might be looking at maybe a time penalty there. Let's give back the position, maybe save myself that 5 seconds, and then go back and attack Henkefend if he possibly can. Tim Heinemann, though, made a huge mistake there. And it will be very, very interesting to see how that plays out. around the kink then, up towards the start-finish line. We've got 2 laps remaining. It's such a short circuit here. It's less than 2 minutes to go in this race. Again, JP Southern's now managed to catch up to this pack because of how much they've been battling for position. Tim Heinemann still leads. Henkefen, though, just seems to be able to get so close under braking. And wow, look at this. Henkefen is not able to get the power down, though. So gets close under braking, but ultimately not able to get the power down. And you can see here, what's a bit of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Henkefen is aggressively pinning Tim onto the apex there. I'm not sure either in the wrong there. I think that's really hard, fair racing. And well, we've seen some aggression this weekend for sure. I'm not sure that would be looked at. That was just real hard, aggressive racing. Both of them giving absolutely everything, and we absolutely want that. We just don't want them to go over the limit, of course. Well, here we go then. Around the final corner we've just come, we've got ourselves 1 lap remaining. Tim Heinemann is in absolute dreamland here, ladies and gentlemen, because he leads going into this final lap. Will he be able to get the race victory, though, and completely extend his championship lead with the absolute maximum result here as well? JP Southern, by the way, has the fastest lap in this race, and it didn't even look like his car was capable of going quickly halfway through this race. I have no idea what's been going on with his car. We come then down towards that final chicane here. Tim Heinemann, will he be able to hold on? How close can Henkefen get going down towards turn number 4? Will he send it? Will he give it a go here? I think he absolutely has to. He knows he's better under braking than Tim, but actually I think the gap might be a little bit too big. Down towards then the final corner. And if Tim doesn't make a mistake here, then he will indeed hold on. He will take victory at the Norisring for race 2. Race 6 of the season, race 2 of the weekend. Tim Heinemann in the Toyota is absolutely going to take the checkered flag here. He flashes the lights. He's super excited. He extends the championship lead. He wins his 3rd race of the season. Henkefen is going to finish in 2nd. An incredible performance there from Henkefen. Overhaus, another podium then for the young driver in the BMW. We've then got Karasani in 4th position, so he will lose some ground in the championship, but it is a very solid performance once again. Almeida is in P5 then with the AMG, and then we've got JP Southern in 6th, but we've just had news that there's a 5-second penalty to the car number 34, Theo Overhaus, so he is going to lose that podium, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to end up down in P6, so it's Henkeven. Well, hold on, I think there might be a penalty here for Tim Heinemann as well. I think Tim Heinemann is going to finish in P5. I actually think that the championship lead is going to be cut here. I think Henkefen might have just won his first DTM Trophy race, waiting for it to be confirmed. But in the race director results here, Tim Heinemann finished in 5th and Overhaus finished in 6th. So Tim Heinemann has officially been given a 5-second penalty. And like I said, if one of them was going to get a penalty, they both were. Henkefen is a DTM Trophy winner here at the Norisring. Colin Karasani, well, he has just been given an absolute gift here. And I'm pretty sure that might just tie up the championship, or maybe only be one between the two of them going into our summer break. Almeida, a first podium then for the Mozambique driver. Congratulations to him. JP Southern, how he's managed to get P4, I have no idea. Next week he'll be turning water into wine, I'm sure. Tim Heinemann then will finish in 5th. Overhaus in 6th. Folev with his best result ever in the DTM Trophy. Jordan Wallace with his best result ever in P8 as well. Nick Hanker just hung around. He was a lap down, but still manages to grab those points. And Hoffman down in P10 will also grab a point. Oh, there was a lot to digest in that race. The penalties came right at the death there as well. Wow, incredible scenes here. But I believe, and I think it's official, Lewis Henkefen is our 4th different winner in the first 6 races of the DTM Trophy Championship 2022. And breathe. Oh, incredible stuff here. JP Southern, I think he was kind of hoping that maybe there was some more penalties to be given out and he might just sneak a podium. Not quite the case there, but we are about to get our official results on screen, I think. But as we see a beautiful shot here of the Norisring, and in the background you can see Nuremberg, the city centre, glorious place. And here it is, Lewis Henkefen for Project One. 25 points, P1, first ever race victory. But what a day for the Project One team. Both of them, of course, have been effectively promoted from the M2 Championship. They're graduates from the M2 Championship up to the DTM Trophy, and it's a glorious day for the team because Colin Karasani takes P2. Great stuff there, a 1-2 for the team. Almeida for BWT Muka Motorsport. They've had so much misfortune this season, but finally get a massive result in a podium. JP Southern, 4th position. Heinemann, Overhaus are in 5th and 6th. Folev, Wallace, Hanker and Hoffman. And well, everybody there with 0 points, unfortunately, just did not finish this race. Oh, wow. Lots of controversy in that race for sure. And yes, some questionable driving. But what a result it is for the very young drivers of Henkefeld and Karasani and the Project One Motorsport team. What a day. I'm sure there'll be some celebratory beers tonight, that is for sure. So here we are. There's Peter Mucker, of course, race winner for a couple of weeks ago in the Zach Speed Capri in the DTM or the DRM Classics Cup. But first podium for the pink BWT AMGs. And is this the turning point of the season? Because both drivers, Cal Halper and indeed Almeida, are very quick drivers, but they just haven't really been able to nail it in the race. But all it takes sometimes for a bit of confidence. There you go, there's Peter Mucker, of course, the boss. Team chef? I think it's more team chief. I'm not sure he cooks them all their dinner. Maybe he does, who knows? But yeah, he's the man, the owner. And it is now time for the podium. Soak it up, Almeida. You absolutely deserve it. So I'm going to leave you now, ladies and gentlemen, with the podium ceremony, and then we'll be back to wrap it up after this.
Ja, ein überraschendes Ende dieses DTM Trophy Rennens. Ich bin sicher, wir erleben in Wochen am Nürburgring weniger Safety Car Phasen.
see how happy everybody is here. I think the delay is Colin Carasani has no idea that he's on the podium, and he has driven back off to the paddock. So I think that's what they're waiting for right now. So yeah, Colin will be told, and then he can come and receive his champagne, his trophy, and his well-earned spot on that podium. Peter Mucker, very, very proud of his driver, Almeida. A lot of investment's gone into the team, and that's nice to see it paying off. So we have a look here at the start, and this was really what started everything, unfortunately, there for Cal Halper. Just runs over the curb, more of a passenger, puts Thiago Vivacqua into a wall, and then it becomes 5 wide as everybody checks up. Thiago's out the race at this point, too much damage to the car, and then you see Daniel Gregor in the Porsche, just gets pit maneuvered as Cal Halper's turning too far left, and Daniel Gregor's got nowhere to go. But if you look here, look at the brake lights on these cars. No, Folev brakes a little bit, but it's really Hanka. He's kind of been rewarded here, because his car didn't have to pace today, but he got rewarded for being patient there and not getting involved. And he's got himself those points. And there you go. So Colin had no idea. Brilliant. He genuinely had no idea. And, well, now he's running his way down towards the podium. And, well, he certainly deserves his champagne after that. And now I will genuinely leave you with the podium ceremony.
Want some water?
Yeah, I just said almost kind of. No, I had to run.
Siegerehrung der DTM Trophy. Ich darf aufrufen, auf dem 3. Platz finden wir Rodrigo Diaz Almeida aus Mosambik. Applaus. Auf dem 2. Platz finden wir Colin Carasani aus den Niederlanden, also eine internationale Mischung. Und der Sieger des heutigen Nachmittags hier auf dem Norisring, auf Platz 1, Luis Hengefeld aus Deutschland. Und zu Ehren des Siegers die deutsche Nationalhymne. Ja, das war zu Ehren des Siegers die deutsche Nationalhymne. Und wir kommen jetzt zur Übergabe der Pokale. Für den 3. Platz für Rodrigo Diaz Almeida gibt es einen Pokal überreicht von Celine Bryden, Gewinnerin der DTM Experience. Dann kommen wir zum Pokal für den Zweitplatzierten, für Colin Carasani. Und hier übergibt Christian Bräuner den Pokal, ebenfalls ein Gewinner der DTM Experience. Dann gibt es den Pokal für die Teamwertung Project One. Auch hier nochmals Celine Bryden, die den Pokal übergibt. Und den Pokal für den Gewinner, für Norisring übergibt nochmals hier Christian Reuner, ja, ebenfalls Gewinner der DTM Experience. Herzlichen Glückwunsch an die Gewinner des heutigen Tages und ein herzlicher Applaus. Und wir machen weiter im Programm.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's the podium ceremony. And Lewis Henkefen, you are a DTM Trophy winner here at the Norisring. Welcome to the club. An incredible, incredible turn of events here. Incredible championship, I think, in the offering as we head to our summer break. And, well, it'll be interesting to see exactly how the points tallies up here. I think it's going to be very close between Colin and the Tim. And the championship lead absolutely has been cut down. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. We'll be back after about 7 weeks after our summer break.